Improving the insulation in your home can help save you money on heating and cooling costs. And our experts recommend starting at the top by adding insulation to your attic. The do-it-yourselfer in you can insulate your attic in as little as 2 hours with a lightweight AttiCat system. Let's take a look at how easy it is. The AttiCat system features the AttiCat machine, AttiCat expanding blown-in insulation, and insulation accessories to complete your project. AttiCat expanding blown-in insulation expands 17 times when blown in through the AttiCat machine. It installs quickly with low dust and low mess. AttiCat expanding blown-in insulation maintains the installed R value for life with virtually no settling and has a lifetime limited warranty. The AttiCat machine features lightweight two-piece construction that makes it easy to transport. The self-feeder and auto cutter make it easy to load without making a mess. It runs on one standard 15-amp outlet and can be controlled from the attic with the hose-mounted remote. Let's get started. Keep the following safety tips in mind when working in your attic. Do not walk on the ceiling. You should place a piece of plywood or OSB over the joists to walk across in the attic. Be careful of overhead obstructions and nails penetrating through the roof deck. AttiCat insulation can be blown on top of any insulation product, so you will first need to determine how much insulation you need. Measure the square footage of the attic space by multiplying the length times the width. You will also need to measure the depth of the current insulation. Refer to the AttiCat brochure available where the product is sold to help determine how much product you will need. Or use our handy online calculator. Owens Corning Canada, an industry leader, recommends R60 or 22.25 inches of blown insulation to maximize your efficiency across the country. Before you start blowing insulation, examine the attic to be sure it is adequately ventilated. Check local building codes for requirements. Do not block E-venting or soffit vents with insulation. Use vent baffles, such as Owens Corning Raftermate attic vents, between E-vents and attic for airflow. Inspect any ductwork in the attic and make sure all connections are sound. Maintain a minimum clearance of 3 inches around any heat-generating sources in the attic, such as recessed lights, by using the SmartCap Attic Recessed Light Cover or cardboard. If a light fixture is labeled IC rated, building code allows you to blow insulation over it. Using a staple gun, install AttiCat rulers on joists, roof trusses, or vertical framing to measure how much insulation you are adding. Install one per every 10 feet so that they are clearly visible. Install a rigid barrier around the attic access opening to help prevent insulation from falling out when you open the attic door. Be sure the barrier is taller than the thickness you plan to install. Keep the AttiCat machine outside the house or in the garage. Reattach the top portion to the bottom and lock into place. The machine will not operate unless the top and bottom are properly aligned. The AttiCat machine comes with two 50-foot sections of hose. The compressed insulation expands as it travels through the hose and contacts the rigid sides. At least 100 feet must be used to properly condition the material to get full label coverage. Up to 150 feet of hose can be used. Never operate the AttiCat machine if it or the operator is standing in water. Serious injury could result. Lay drop cloths in the house and protect corners with cardboard or other material along the path of the hose to protect walls, floors, and other surfaces. Run the hose into the attic. Extend enough hose to reach the furthest point in the attic. Note, the AttiCat machine projects insulation a distance of approximately 8 to 10 feet. Connect the hose to the machine by twisting the coupler to the right. Connect the extension cord to the machine and a standard grounded 110 volt with at least a 15 amp circuit. The power light will illuminate. When ready for the flow of insulation, the installer in the attic will press and hold the green button on the remote located on the hose. The machine's blower will start, and after a few seconds, the agitators will begin to rotate. The machine may be stopped by either the attic installer or the machine operator by pressing the red stop button on either the remote or the control panel. The machine's feeder is specifically designed to accommodate a half bag of AttiCat pink fiberglass blown-in insulation. Using a knife, cut the bale of insulation along the cut line, making sure the knife cuts at least ½ inch into the insulation. Break the package in half. Hold the half bag by the end flaps and insert the cut end into the machine. Push a half bag completely into the feeder until it stops. The built-in auto cutter will cut the plastic packaging to release insulation into the machine. It is important that you remove the packaging because it may clog the machine and should be removed once a half bag has released. When the bag is properly aligned with the auto cutter, it should slide in and cut easily. If it binds, reposition it rather than attempting to force it. Add another half bag of insulation once the machine feeder has emptied and the agitator paddles can be seen through the window. The machine is now ready for the installer to start blowing insulation. Press and hold the green button on the remote located on the hose to start blowing insulation. Direct the hose towards the eaves and begin by blowing insulation at the point furthest from the attic opening. Insulation should flow out of the hose and fall onto the surface 8 to 10 feet away. As each attic section is filled, move slowly backward toward the attic opening. Repeat this process until the attic is fully insulated. When you're close to the attic opening, use a gloved hand to deflect the insulation downward. When the job is complete, the attic should have a flat, level layer of insulation throughout. All of the bags calculated should have been used. Cover the attic entry door with either an attic hatch insulator or a piece of bad insulation, then position the door back into place. There you have it. Insulating your attic with the AttiCat system is quick and easy, with virtually no mess. And what's better, your efforts will reward you with an energy-efficient and comfortable home for many years to come.